What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. I'm Chuck Silver. This is Smitty. We're here with Occupy Fantasy. It's good to see you guys. I've been gone for a while. Smitty, how we been, dude?
Pretty good. Not too bad. Just living these little short slates, basically.
Yeah, the short slates are pretty good. We've both had a couple takedowns over the last couple of weeks, and obviously all of the tickets, the saddies on FanDuel are great. Highly recommend. We have a cute little two-gamer again, and it's actually really weird to me because everyone is projected less than we typically see them. Like a couple of the Chicago guys are a little bit higher, but or I'm sorry, a couple of the Cleveland guys are a little bit higher going against Chicago, but I would have expected like I don't know, they just seems very conservative projections today around the industry. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I kind of think so too. Looks pretty conservative, and then like the spreads are pretty tight, so they should be a little higher.
Yeah, like Mobley. Okay, so let me get this injury report for Cleveland. Sam Merrill, Evan Mobley, Larry Nance, and Max Strus are out. For Chicago, Io is questionable. Noah Asenge is out, and then for Memphis, Jaw is questionable. We're leaning towards I think he might be doubtful now actually. So we're gonna talk about it as if Jaw Morant is out. Brandon Clark is questionable. That would be interesting because we're gonna be slightly interested in Jay. Who's the center? Jock Landale today. So we'll see if that changes things. And Cam Spencer, Zach Edey, John Conchar, Javon Small, Ty Jerome, and Scottie Pippen are all out. So Memphis is definitely gonna be a spot to target. Rudy Gobert is available. Anthony Edwards is questionable, and Mike Conley's out. So from that, I see an early question here: who's the better roster, Donovan Mitchell or Ant Man? For me, I have Donovan Mitchell projected much better than Anthony Edwards, but I'm wondering if Anthony Edwards' ownership comes in a little bit lower if maybe we don't get that news until closer to lock. Both of these games lock at the same time.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I'm the same way. I'm getting to more Mitchell as of right now, but on FanDuel, I was getting a ton of both. I think it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, and I mean, those are two of the top three model plays. Josh Giddey is going to be the other one in there, but the model does have Donovan Mitchell kind of a bit above everybody else today. Even considering the higher price, the model still likes him more, and the field does too. His ownership's higher, but I do think we want to get exposure to all three of these guys. But as of now, Donovan Mitchell is the guy I'm most heavy on from the top end.
Yep, same here.
Um, I guess we can, yeah, because Mobley's out. Two gamer, easy money. I hope so. Donnie all the way.
We got Ant officially ruled out.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. That kind of is actually great for us. We usually don't like to get that news early when we think something's going to happen anyway, but now we can talk about the slate and not have to think that the show was a waste afterwards because everything changed. Uh, that's Dante DiVincenzo, right? I think that's the only player on the slate named Donnie. He's interesting. He's going to be a lot more interesting without Ant Edwards now. We'll take a look. Doug is saying probably Donovan Mitchell. Don't see why the Timberwolves would bring Edwards back. Yep. Well, we got the news. Drafters includes tomorrow's four games in tonight. Is that the drafters.com site?
That sounds miserable.
Yeah, huge slate tomorrow. I would never try to combine tomorrow's slate with today. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Jaw's downfall. Yeah, Jaw, we're not expecting to play. Ant's out. Beautiful. Donnie Mitchell. I'm dumb, dude. I'm sorry. I told people I've been getting slow. You said Dante, and I went to Dante DiVincenzo before I went to Donovan. Mitchell and talking about him. Yeah, we both love him. So, Smitty, should we start with let's start with Cleveland. We've already talked about Donovan Mitchell a bit, so I think we're both pretty into him. The next guy on here, though, if you'll notice, we have Darius Garland ranked higher than Julius Randle today, which is a little bit jarring. But what do you think about Darius Garland overall?
Yeah, pretty wild. We see him for 63% on DraftKings, which it's a two gamer. I'm around that mark. It's just hard because they're pretty short-handed. It's a good matchup. The total's good, spread's good, and he's under 7K. So pretty tough spot to like really get away from. I don't know if he has like the ultimate ceiling, but then again, it's a two gamer, so you don't really need that from every position. So I think he's a fine building block. The minutes are secure in a good matchup.
Yeah, I always lean bearish towards Darius Garland. He's had two good games the last couple times out, and his projection isn't like crazy today. It's just a normal projection, and like I already mentioned, everyone's projections seem kind of lower to me today. So I mean, he played 39 minutes last time out. What do we have him for today? 34. Seems fine.
Yeah,
I'm okay getting to Darius. I'm a little uncomfortable with it, but um, I maybe it's more of a mistake to try to get away from him. If there's only 2 games and he's a starting point guard, probably going to play a lot of minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be a little bit different if Vince Williams was like a point guard, but he's shooting guard, small forward. So we
Mhm.
don't have a ton of point guards.
I think Jared Allen is the other big talking point here without Evan Mobley. Now, the model likes Jared Allen. I might be mistaken, but I don't think the rest of the industry loves Jared Allen. I know he's projected for almost 50%, but what do we want to do with that? Only projected for 26 minutes.
Yeah, I'm around the field right now. That probably comes down a little. I like Gobert more now with Ant out. Plus, we can get to some Nas Reed. So I don't think Jarrett's a must, but I am going to have like a decent amount of him. But overall, probably be around the field or slightly underweight.
So Jared Allen's kind of chalk. I mean, 50% owned even on a 2 gamer is a ton. These games, Evan Mobley wasn't in for any of these games, right?
I think he
Or he
was.
was. I mean,
It's
he
just the
was in.
last one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so Jared's rotation was definitely weird against Charlotte, but I kind of look at him as a GPP play. Like, I think we have to take shots on this guy. He can definitely put up 42 tonight, and it'd be like, well, yeah, of course he did. Evan Mobley's not playing. But he could also put up like 22 and not close. I think you mentioned that to me pre-stream. They haven't been closing with him, right?
Yeah, he didn't close last game. They closed with Dean Wade at the 5. He didn't play like
Yeah,
the last 7 minutes of the game, I think it was.
it's weird. So they're going up against Chicago. Do you know who the center was on the other team to close?
They were going against Charlotte, but I don't know
Okay.
who it was.
Okay. So whatever big man they had on the court for Charlotte is probably not as good as Vucevic, and so I'm curious if they would run Dean Wade to close, guarding Vucevic if they decided to go that route again. Because if Jared Allen does get that extra, 4 or 5 minutes closing, then that's enough to bump him up to one of the best plays of the day. A little risk, 50% on, like I said. I don't think I'm near 50%. I'm kind of just really spreading out my center exposure today. But did he have power forward eligibility on? Oh, he actually has power forward eligibility on
Yeah.
FanDuel. I still didn't get that much, so I don't know. I think he's fine. The model loves him though, so this is a guy I think that you definitely want to take shots on. Dean Wade, and we got Nick Bass in the chat. Thoughts on Tyson? Dean Wade isn't a fantasy points producer. It's a 2 game slate. Like, we don't need any kind of ceiling. The benefit of Dean Wade today is he only costs 4,100 and 4K. This is fair ownership, I think, 23, 21%, and he helps us build lineups. And so even though he doesn't score, like, we're not expecting a 30 fantasy point ceiling from him basically ever. He actually did it last game. But like, playing 20 plus minutes at this price, and he does just enough, and maybe over on FanDuel we can get a little lucky with the stock variance, but I like Dean Wade today. I don't love him, but I like him.
Yeah, I'm actually the same. Feels weird, but it's only a 2 gamer, and he's going to be out there for a decent amount of minutes, and it's a possibility he closes. So I do think he's a pretty good play.
Yeah, the model, actually, he looks better on FanDuel. For value, 16.2, on DraftKings, 15.8. Overall on the slate, Dean Wade is the number 2 value on both sites, and we're getting this at 23%. Now, there's not a lot of spots to target today. If I sort the model by OF index, you'll notice no one here is below 20%. And so Dean Wade being right at 20%, I think this is a spot that we can get over the field on.
Yeah,
And then, what are your thoughts on Tyson?
he's fine. Not someone I'm jamming into lineups. I have a little bit, but would prefer just playing Wade and taking the salary elsewhere.
Okay. So Tyson is projected for 20 and 26% ownership. I'm actually way over that over on FanDuel. I bumped him up quite a bit.
Well, I will say it depends. He didn't start last time out, so if he starts, I'll have a little more interest.
Are you projecting Dean Wade at the 4, Jared Allen at the 5?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then, is there anyone else here that's interesting? I did get shares of Lonzo. I had to trim that down a little bit, but the price, again, like, kind of similar to Dean Wade. He helps us build lineups, but point guard spot is a little bit like, there's a couple other point guards we want to play. And then Naquan Tomlin, I did force in a few percent of him. He's projected for under 10% ownership.
Yeah, I think Lonzo's actually pretty interesting. He played a ton of minutes last game, so it seems like when they're shorthanded, they're willing to do that. Plus, it's going against Chicago, good matchup, revenge game. Just kind of seems like one of those spots he plays more than the 23 minutes we have him for.
Okay.
I think he played over 30 last game.
Lonzo?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have guessed he was capable of
he
playing over
closed.
30. Yeah, he hit 32. He hit 34 minutes almost a month ago too. So if he has that potential, like Darius Garland is in, so maybe he doesn't hit 30 plus that often, but yeah, having the potential to do that on this slate, you just talked me back into a little bit more of Lonzo Ball. Is there someone else here? DeAndre Hunter. Why does the model hate him so much? He's only projected for 16% ownership on DraftKings, 31 on FanDuel. I mean, it's a two gamer. I think we should take shots, especially on DraftKings. Even though he's higher price, the ownership is pretty low. Even though the model thinks he's not great.
Yeah, someone we could definitely get into our lineups. We're kind of just looking for that one differentiator, and it can be Hunter. Like he can get hot, so I don't mind taking shots there.
Nice. And then Thomas Bryant. Is this a viable punt?
No.
Okay. We'll go to the other side of this game, Chicago. I kind of like Josh Giddey. I feel like he's getting a little bit. I know he's 43% on FanDuel, but it doesn't feel like he's getting as much love as maybe he should be on this slate. Now, he hasn't been the Josh Giddey that we're hoping him to be, but it's not a bad matchup. 5 point spread. There's no Evan Mobley on the other side, so Cleveland's not as strong defensively. I would definitely want to mix in a lot of Josh Giddey tonight.
Yeah, I think he makes sense. Their rotation's been kind of nasty, but overall, still, if this game does stay close, it's likely him or Kobe White had a pretty good game. So I think getting at least to one of them makes a lot of sense.
Well, speaking of Kobe White, so my current run on FanDuel, I have 60% Josh Giddey and 50% Kobe White. So I guess I'm pretty into both of them. And Kobe White, we have projected for 29 minutes. Um, he has the potential to play more than that. Maybe not much more. He did hit 35 a while ago, but then he missed some time. So 20, would you feel comfortable projecting Kobe White for any more than 29?
Yeah, you could probably bump him up to like 30. I would feel pretty
Okay.
good.
Yeah, 1 or 2 minutes, maybe just enough to get a little more exposure. Because I'm actually looking at this now. It seems like a lot of Kobe White to have 50% on FanDuel. He is projected for 49 or 39% ownership though on both
Yeah,
sites. Let
yeah,
me
I
knock
think
that
he's
down a little
he's
bit.
a pretty good play.
So I'll mention Isaac Okoro since he was showing up really high in value. He's only 3,200 on DraftKings, projected for 16% ownership. On FanDuel, he's 3,800 at 3%. Isaac Okoro, I mean, is this a guy that we should be considering a little bit more?
He kind of seems okay on FanDuel at that ownership. DraftKings right now, I have about 15%. I'm okay with that. I think it probably comes down with the Ant news now. Kind of changes a little bit. I have to rebuild, but just kind of another one of those dudes, similar to a Dean Wade. Like he's going to play a decent amount of minutes. He's not super productive, but he could be the piece that lets you fit in someone that is in the winning lineup.
Yeah, and what Smitty just mentioned about with the Ant news, I have to rerun my stuff too. Like we could get less, like he's less useful now because we have one less pay up to pay up for, right?
Yep.
Still a few pay ups, but Isaac Okoro's salary isn't quite as powerful today. But actually, I'm looking at these fantasy scores. I mean, yeah, these minutes are kind of all over the place, but I mean, if he puts up 20 today at 3,800, I would, if I knew that ahead of time, I'd probably play him in most of my lineups. So
Yeah.
I am okay with it. Yeah, model's telling us this is like the one very low owned value today that kind of stands out. So we don't want to go way over the field on guys like this, but he's only 3% on FanDuel. You could play him in 2, 3 lineups and be over the field.
Yep.
The rest of this team, I thought Vooch was super interesting today. 66 and 6,400, and he's only 22% owned. And then I went and looked at the game log, and yeah, that's probably actually about appropriate. I'd like to think he still has that ceiling. He still has I mean, he hit 31 in the last game. We only have him projected for 27 minutes today, so 4 minutes is a really big deal. You give him 4 minutes, he's probably the best value on the slate. Um, Only get one center on FanDuel, but I'm pretty interested in trying to get at least over the field on him.
Yeah, kind of just another one of those plays the field's not really getting to. Hasn't been great recently, but we play a daily game, so I think taking some shots on Vooch makes sense.
And let's take a look at like Vooch versus Jared Allen specifically because their prices are almost the same, right?
Yeah,
So 6K, six. So Vooch is a little more expensive, and his value is lower on FanDuel. It's not that much lower though, and we're getting him at probably half the ownership of Jared Allen. So this is a spot I really want to get a little bit more even on. I do have more Jared Allen right now, but I'm over this 22%.
Yep.
Is there anyone else on Chicago that was interesting? Modus or
I have a
anyone
few
else?
percent of Patrick Williams. I have a
Okay.
couple percent of Matas. Patrick Williams, kind of similar to Coro. He can spike a ceiling. Not really a ceiling, but I mean, he can go out there and get you 25 fantasy points, and it wouldn't surprise me. And he's low owned, so.
Excuse me 1 second. Oh,
Uh,
sorry about that. I heard some sketchy stuff going on outside. I had to check. But yeah, Modest's projection is like the lowest I've seen him for all season. Trey Jones is whatever, but I'm interested even at the price. Trey Jones, Kevin Werder, Patrick Williams. Maybe better if Io DeSunmu doesn't end up playing.
yeah, I think it'd be better if Io sits. Right now, it's kind of hard because they just have so many guys, and they're playing them like an even amount of minutes. So it's pretty tough to decipher who.
Excuse me. So, excuse me. Any interest in Zach Collins or Jalen Smith? I wanted to mention the center options. We have, in my opinion, three strong center plays, not counting Santi Aldama, and that's these three at the top here: Vooch, Rudy Gobert, and Jared Allen. I'm curious what your thoughts are on mixing in these cheaper centers. Maybe we count on none of these three at the top going off at their 6K-ish price, and these 4K centers unlock the lineup for us.
Yeah, I think you could. It's kind of hard because they all kind of eat at each other. So, like Colin Smith, Vooch are playing all center. Like I don't know, it's kind of weird to have a 3-man center rotation. I think last game it was they did play Collins and Smith together, which could help one of them get there. So I don't mind. But if you're playing them, I probably wouldn't play Vooch. But yeah, I don't mind it. 3,800 for Collins. We know he's productive. Same with Smith. They're both productive when they get the minutes.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice that Collins has power forward eligibility on FanDuel. Like, obviously, this is terrible, but 18, 19 minutes, 20 minutes, like Jack Collins can get there in that time. We're not projecting blowout at all. At least I'm not. But look at Jock Landale's ownership, 20%. The model really does not like him, and we're giving him 24 minutes, which seems pretty good. The model likes Zach Collins at 12 minutes and his price more than Jock Landale. So I think that's something you consider, just mixing in a little bit of Zach Collins. And then I guess Jalen Smith is here too, but Zach Collins is the player I'm a little more interested in today.
Yep.
Not sure I'm actually going to get there on FanDuel. I might try to force in just a few percent. All right, let's jump to the next game, Memphis. I saw a couple questions here. Dang, dude. Chuck, I'm not sure there's a center in the league worse than Vooch these days. Hey, man, have you seen Jackson Hayes? We got one on the Lakers. Maybe not a fair comparison, but Luke was asking if we can play Garland and Donovan Mitchell together, or is that bad correlation?
No, you could. It's a 2-gamer.
Yeah, I never really care about that specific correlation, so I'm always okay with getting them in the same lineup. Maybe on larger slates I'd consider not doing that, but on today's slate, we're good. MD is asking Wells, Werder, or Vince Williams on FanDuel.
Probably Vince Williams.
So I have 100% Vince Williams on FanDuel right now. I have like 30% Jalen Wells and like 10% of Werder, if that helps. I'll probably cut the Vince Williams down a little bit. I don't know if I want 100%, but I mean, he's back down to 4,100 on FanDuel. It's just kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Talked about Tyson. Jalen Wells or Buzelis, Smitty?
Wells.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Jalen Wells today, and I usually am not, especially when he's above 5K. But the ownership to me seems pretty modest, and he's been doing like pretty well. I mean, I was thinking he was pretty scoring dependent before, but these auxiliary stats are enough to get us there if he keeps scoring double digits. So I think Jalen Wells is pretty good, and it's like this is another situation where if you told me on today's slate Jalen Wells was definitely going to score 28, he would be in a lot of my lineups. Just knowing that one of these guys is not going to fail at slightly lower ownership could be pretty powerful. So I really like getting to Jalen Wells today, and then I'll bring up Colin Coward in the same breath. What do you think about him?
Yeah, Let's see what the field's at. Yeah, I'm over the field right now on him. He's been productive when he's out there, and then now you get no jaw. Might get some more ball handling responsibilities, so I do think he's a good play. Plus, no Cam Spencer helps him even more.
Yeah, Cedric Coward's another guy that I was having a little trouble getting to, but then I kind of realized he's exactly the like the archetype of the player that I love, right?
Mhm.
He does a lot or he does a little. 16 or 43, like yeah, 23, 51, dude. Give me a Cedric Coward, and we're getting him at pretty. No, we're not getting him at good ownership on FanDuel. 34% on DraftKings at the higher price is whatever. The model's not really saying that he's a strong value though, so maybe the field is getting a little bit overeager to play 49% of him, but I think I'm around that too, so I like him.
Yeah, I do too.
I was looking at KCP as kind of a little bit of a pivot, but he's projected for 26 and 16% ownership already as one of the worst values on the slate. What do you think?
Yeah, the model don't like him. Makes it kind of hard because I coming into this slate, I actually liked him a decent amount. Just a veteran on the team with a lot of younger guys. I don't know. It's a spot where you could see his minutes be pretty decent in a close game. So I still think he's okay. Shooting guard, small forward on DraftKings makes it pretty easy to fit in. Kind of just another one of those dudes similar to like a Coro or something like that, where you're just hoping he goes out and gets you 20 to 25 fantasy points.
Yeah, with all these guys in this 4K range, the centers, KCP, if I get a 20 ball from them, I will not be disappointed tonight on a four-game slate. That's pretty good. Like 25 would be better, but 20 is enough from these guys tonight, I think.
Yep.
I'm only at 10% KCP on FanDuel now, and I actually had to bump him quite a bit to even get to that much. So I think that just, oh, that was on my new run. Maybe that's just we're not that desperate for the value because there's really not anyone to pay up for now except for Donovan and Josh Giddey. And I got a lot more Josh Giddey on this last run, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I need a rerun as well.
I didn't fully adjust Minnesota guys yet, so I'm sure.
Yeah,
Let
I
me see.
haven't
Let me
either.
do this real quick. Yeah, Julius is going to be a top play now. That's going to be a guy we're paying up for. Oh, we didn't get to Minnesota yet. I got ahead of myself. So what do we do with this Brandon Clark coming back? He's min price on DraftKings, 3,900 on FanDuel, projected for 3% ownership. Meanwhile, Jock Landale is projecting by the model as a worse value. Now, Brandon Clark hasn't played a single game this season, right?
No, is he officially in or still questionable?
I think he's still questionable. So if he's in, Brandon Clark has not played a single second with this group of guys yet. Like he's played with the players playing, but he hasn't played with this group yet. So this data is going to be less reliable than everyone else on here, but the model is telling us we can take shots on Brandon Clark. And again, the 3K on DraftKings can help some lineups. Maybe we'll try to get in Donovan Mitchell, Josh Giddey, and Julius Randle, and then still have a couple mid-range guys in there, and maybe Brandon Clark can help us do that.
Yeah, power forward eligibility too, which is huge. We only have him for like 14 and a half minutes, which it's possible he could play. I don't know what he plays, but say you play 16 to 18 at 3K. I mean, you don't really need a whole lot. Like if he's the only value you have, and then you have Donovan Mitchell and all these guys getting you the raw points. Like if Brandon Clark gets you 18 at 3K, I feel like that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if you whatever optimizer you're using, if you plug in 18 fantasy points for Brandon Clark on DraftKings, you're going to get 100%.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and I like that. Yeah, that's like just these extra 2.5 minutes get him up to 17 is like gigantic. The field isn't really getting there. Maybe they're a little bit nervous because he's coming back from injury. Like I just said, he hasn't played with this group of guys. We don't know what the production is going to look like, but I mean, the model's at least telling us we can take a shot versus Jock Landale's ownership. Now, Brandon Clark does have power forward eligibility on FanDuel. He's in that same boat as the rest of the 4K guys. Let's say Brandon Clark gets ruled out. Jock Landale would jump for you.
Yeah, he would look better. I think Landale, and then it will make Aldama. I'll like him a little bit more. So just kind of a bump to them too.
And I got to tell you, Smitty, it is very, very rare that I look at the model and I see a name that I have never heard of before. Do you know who this is? Jemai
Meshack.
Mashak?
Yeah,
Mashak?
I knew who you were talking about. Yeah, I think I know I want to get a few percent of him. He's pretty productive when he's out there. I don't know how many minutes he will play, but They don't want to play Vince Williams a ton of minutes, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, pretty short-handed team. A guy that can play a little bit, point guard, shooting guard eligible, like Brandon Clark. He's min price. If he runs into more minutes without Cam Spencer, I do think that's pretty reasonable. He's the only other point guard on the roster, so we have him for about 15 minutes. I mean, he could play more than that.
I'm trying to look at what his stats are in the G League. Do you know?
No, I'm not that nasty, but I
He
can
went
look
to
it up.
the University of Tennessee, and his career highs were 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. That was not the same game. That was different games. So he wasn't a great producer in college. He's probably likely not going to get that many minutes tonight. This is probably a guy we already spent too much time talking about, but he is pulling 4% ownership. He's basically min price. It's possible that he helps people build a lineup, and like these guys are in the NBA, it's possible he just does enough to be reasonable. I saw a question: is GG still in the G League? As far as I know, yeah. I didn't see anything that he got called up and he was in the G League as of a few days ago. So who's
They do
the
have, I guess, if Clark is out, Omax would be a play if you want to get real nasty in large field. Oliver Maxence Prosper.
Oh, not even on the model. Smitty went beyond the model today. Yeah, that would be another guy to consider if you said if Brandon Clark is ruled out.
Yeah. Clark's out.
Okay. Nick said Tyson isn't starting. I don't think that's confirmed, and I don't think that we should assume that, right?
He didn't last game, but
Okay. All right,
I
we'll
don't
have to
see him.
see. Yeah, they switch it up, so we can roll with Tyson not starting since that's what's been happening, but it's not guaranteed. Nick likes Wells, Aldama, Vince Williams, and Coward. Yeah, I think I'm going to be pretty heavy on all of them. I feel like I'm 50% on Aldama, Vince, and Coward, and then right now I'm like 30% on Wells. It feels pretty good.
Yep. And the one guy we didn't talk about, Jaron Jackson.
Oh, dude, I thought about it too. I'm like talking about Mashak, and I looked at like I mentioned that guy before Jaren. Yeah,
I
this
know
guy.
you've kind of been out. Did you see his last game?
Was it the 60? Is that why I had such a
Yeah,
bad
he
night
went
the other night?
nuts.
Yeah, it's like what 7 stocks? Was this at home? This is bizarre. So there was something a couple seasons ago where the Memphis stat keepers were being very generous with Jaren Jackson's blocks and whatever, and then I guess they got caught, and so they stopped doing that. Like his blocks tanked, right? This is crazy going 3 games in a row without a block. This is what this guy was supposed to be known for in shooting threes.
Yep.
Um, what was his ownership?
Look on FanDuel.
46%.
Gosh,
I feel like he's over-owned, dude. But
I
what do
feel
you
like
think?
I feel like that's a fade. On DraftKings, I don't mind it at the elevated price, but FanDuel he feels really overowned.
Like, dude, the field is gonna jam 50% of this guy in today, and he's gonna put up 24 fantasy points. I know Jaw's not in, but like, I don't know, Jaren Jackson. It doesn't. He's not the type of player that's gonna come in and soak up a bunch of the usage that other players are leaving behind, right? He's still gonna just. We have to hope he hits his threes, gets a couple extra blocks, and then he's a very, very poor rebounder for being as tall as he is. So I'm generally bearish on JJJ, and today I'm still bearish on him.
Yeah, I am too.
And even at this price, 7K on FanDuel, the model thinks he's not great. This is not a good value score for someone projected for 46% ownership. I guess same with Coward, and I said I'm playing him, but the 5,600 price, he has higher potential to put up the ceiling. And Jaren Jackson, I don't know. I probably will just play a lot more of the 4K guys at the power forward spot.
Yeah, I was kind of looking for a direct price pivot, but I think that's kind of your best option is just to go pay down.
I want to jump back to Cleveland for 1 second. I think this is a pretty decent question. Do y'all think Lonzo limits Darius for a ceiling game? Do you know how much they share the court together?
Last game they did quite a bit, but
Okay, I thought so. Yeah.
yeah, because Lonzo closed with Darius, so that's pretty interesting. It was like Lonzo, Darius, Donovan, Wade, and Tyson closed, so I think they're fine with it.
Yeah, this is also a rule I would not set. I'm okay. Like it's not intuitive if you're hand building a lineup, but putting Darius and Lonzo in that same lineup, my only concern would be just what other point guards am I missing out on. But I'm very okay playing them together. They played a lot together in their previous game against Charlotte, especially with that like last 7 minute rotation they both closed. So
Yeah, I think the Cavs are kind of to the point now where they need to put the best lineup out there because they've been underperforming.
would you consider the rule max two of Garland, Mitchell, and Lonzo?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good rule.
Okay. I wouldn't want to do max one, but I don't know that I'd want all three of those guys in the lineup there. But there are scenarios where that plays out to be the winner. You know, maybe Cleveland just scores 150 points tonight.
Definitely possible.
Only if Garland starts off struggling. Cleveland is looking for answers. Yeah, they are, man.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we got Io ruled out. So
Okay.
I remember to revisit Chicago and see how that looks. But let's close out this slate with Minnesota. We know, oh, no Anthony Edwards. Let's see how things change. What was your immediate thoughts on that? How did you want to start adjusting your exposures?
Mine was my first thought was Randall. Just pretty good price on DraftKings. FanDuel, really good price. We see the ownership kind of reflect it now, but I think he's good. And I also had told you kind of pre-stream that I liked Gobert more than I did Jared Allen, as long as Anthony Edwards was out. So yeah, Gobert, Randall look really good. Pretty much his whole team in a good matchup against a depleted Grizzlies team.
Yeah, I like it. I'm still not getting as much Julius Randle as I would have expected. I only gave him a couple extra fantasy points, but I'm wondering because I just spent a lot of time talking about those like 4K power forwards, right? This is, I mean, Randall's chalk, but I don't know. Just consider the lineup construction. I think it's pretty. We'll build a couple dummies, but I'm pretty sure it's not hard to fit in Giddy, Donovan Mitchell, and Julius Randle with another mid-range guy in there too.
Yeah, and now we have Bones popping as one of the top DK values.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think about that?
Uh, well, I think that I don't know if you jammed in Bones. I jammed in Bones really hard that night. He got a surprise start. I wasn't expecting him to start. That was just a happy thing that happened. And then he got hurt like 2 minutes into the game. He already had 6 fantasy points, dude. And then I see the next game he put up a really good game, right? I think he won you a tournament actually.
Yeah,
30, 31. I like Bones. I'm a big fan of Bones. At this price, I was wondering if the field was going to get there, and it looks like they are. But the model's telling us he is one of the best values. So most of my actions on FanDuel today at 29%. If he actually comes in at 29%, I will be over that number.
yeah, yeah. I feel the same. I feel like it's kind of a bone slate, man. Like two gamer, you know he's going to get his. So I do think he's a pretty good play against Memphis. Like I said, they're pretty depleted, so I like him quite a bit. The Wolves kind of just play who they trust, and it seems that they really trust Bones now, which is kind of weird because no coach ever has. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like it.
So with Dante DiVincenzo, is Bones taking away from him? I don't think so. This dude put up 47. Keep in mind he had six stocks. Like, it's kind of a lot. But 18, 6, and 6 from Dante DiVincenzo. His model ranking is actually pretty decent. 22 and 36%. It's a little, I don't know, 6,700 seems really high for Dante DiVincenzo, right? The 63 does too, but the usage is there. I'm going to be getting there today.
Yeah, I think on FanDuel I like it more. DraftKings kind of more of a GPP play, but I think he's a pretty good option.
Is there any other guards here that we're interested? Were you going to take any shots at all on Shannon or Dillingham?
I haven't decided. Maybe I might get to a few percent of each. Jalen Clark as well kind of fits in that bucket.
Jalen Clark. Yeah, I've been disrespecting this dude, but he's in consideration as well. Nas Reed and Jaden McDaniels. I had a disgusting decision the other night. I lost the coin flip. I played Jaden, and if I had played Nas, I would have taken down two tournaments. Very sad. But what's your opinion on both of these guys tonight?
Yeah, I like Jaden quite a bit. The minutes are always going to be there, so I do like him. I don't know. Nas, someone I kind of always want to be over on, but now his price is kind of coming up. The model don't really love him. I think he's fine. Not someone I'm going to rush to or try and get away from.
My current run, still a very shaky run. I'm around 30%, so just to give you guys an idea of where I'm at on Nas on FanDuel anyway. This is a spot where even at the elevated price, if he was like 20% on both sides, I'd be looking at him as a player that we could get over the field on, like paying up a little bit to be contrarian. But as it stands, the model thinks he's okay. The model does prefer Jaden McDaniels, but he's also pulling a ton of ownership, actually. So on FanDuel, Jaden's at 58%, Nas Reed's at 40%. Nas is only $100 more. Like whatever I just said about Nas Reed, I actually think that's wrong.
Yeah.
It's a spot I'd like to. I don't know if I'll end up with the 40% Nas, but I don't have. Oh, I do have a bunch of Jaden McDaniels. It's interesting. Any final word on Minnesota?
No. No, I think they all look pretty good. So I plan on having quite a bit of that game.
Okay, nice. Yeah, they're pulling a ton of ownership after that late ant scratch. So I guess not a scratch. See if any questions, and we'll build a dummy and get out of here. 2 game slate. I try to stretch it out. You guys know I'm usually pretty slow getting through the show, so we got 7 minutes to spare after talking about 2 games. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Cleveland. Oh, Tyus Jones. I'm gonna prefer Bones Highland now, but what do you think about wait, Tyus? Trey, what do you think about Trey Jones as a kind of like a deep pivot, I guess?
Yeah, I think he looks better now with AO out. IO out.
He's only projected for 7% ownership. I think that's pretty reasonable. Doug has 100% of Nas Reed, Vince Williams, and Donovan Mitchell. What about okay, so now I have a ton of Donovan and Vince, and everybody else got a little bit lower.
Yeah, I'm rerunning right now on DraftKings.
Yeah, I need to do a new run right now. I'm gonna rely on you to tell us what to do with our DraftKings dummy. I don't have good builds right now. Doug said Coward's questionable. If he doesn't make his first couple of shots, he tends to fade away, and McDaniels will be on him most of the game. Do we don't know that though. I like it's a fair assumption to say that Jaden McDaniels is going to be guarding Cedric Coward for a bit of the game, but like I don't know, Smitty, maybe what like how much do you still care about individual matchups?
Certain guys change it for me. That one really don't.
Yeah, because I don't like Coward is not a player where they need to stick McDaniels on him and say, hey, don't let him score. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they could say that to him because Coward has shown that he has some ability in this league, but I'm not really concerned about this. It's not going to get me off of Coward anyway.
No, Coward's not really going to hit a ceiling through his scoring, anyways.
Yeah, we need him to kind of do a little bit of everything. Like we still need him to probably score at least 15 real points, but he can get there in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I
Jay,
got a ton of bones. Goodness.
let me rerun and see. If Clark is in, that's a fire play. If he plays good, he'll get more run. I mean, it's a big if. It's Brandon Clark. But yeah, like you said, this is a guy who, if he came out and scored 23 fantasy points in 15 minutes, like, would we really be that surprised? He's done it before. Good call, Smitty, 11 minutes ago, dude. Nice. Don't know what that was about, but Smitty has a lot of good calls too, so
I have a lot of bad ones too. So
we all have bad ones, but I'm on team Ant JJJ2. He only burns you 2 to 3 times a year. Oh, anti JJJ. Nice. Yeah, I like it. I'm not playing like zero. I mean, it's a 2 game slate. I just want to have less than everybody else. Did we say
yeah,
Clark out? No, we don't know yet. Tomlin or Patrick Williams? I think Smitty. Well, what's your answer?
that's tough. Tomlin, just because there's more upside there with lack of bodies.
I think that's where I'm at too. The model has them basically the same. This is, the difference in value here is a coin flip from Tomlin to Patrick Williams. They're both projected for no ownership. Their prices are the same. But Tomlin is only projected for 14. Patrick Williams is only projected for 20. So maybe this isn't a great. I don't know. What do you think about thinking about it like this? Like Tomlin has more potential to exceed his projected minutes than Patrick Williams does.
Yeah,
Okay. Because if we gave Tomlin 20 minutes, that's like almost a 50% boost. He would show up as one of the top values.
yep.
Brandon Clark will get 10 to 15. The Grizz are depleted in the front court. Yeah, I think we had him for about 14 minutes, so that sounds right. What team is the least priority? Chicago
Mm,
for me, by far.
yeah, Chicago. They're the only team not missing anybody.
Yeah, I have like again very rough runs. I have percent Josh Giddey, 35% Kobe White, down to 15% Vooch, and then just a few percent of the else there. Yeah, just there are just a lot more of clear priorities on every other team.
Yep.
My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. I jammed in. I'm not gonna repeat it, but thank you, Power, letting me know, dude. Like I said, I'm getting slow, man. Oh, Jayhawk, what's up, dude? Yeah, it's bone season tonight. Nice. Is Jayhawk in the Discord today?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. So that will be a little bit later of a Discord, I think, because the slate starts so late. But yeah, come to the Discord. Instructions are in description below. Get Jayhawk's opinion on it too. Yeah, I mentioned this a little bit. Smitty, what about Dillingham pivot off of Bones?
Yeah. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we talk about these pivots where we're on the chalk value and then their backup definitely deserves more ownership than he's getting. I'm not saying he deserves a ton, but it's like if he ends up doing it and you have a couple lineups with Dillingham, you're going to feel good. Dillingham played 16 minutes last game. Terrence Shannon. Oh, this is a game Bones missed. What about Terrence Shannon?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I have Shannon a little bit higher than Dillingham.
Okay. Yeah, Shannon. Okay, so in the last game where Bones played 36 minutes, Shannon played 13, Dillingham played 12, and it looks like Dillingham basically subbed for Bones. They did not share the court at all. Yeah, it was one or it was basically one or the other on the court, Bones or Dillingham. So if you're like way off Bones, I guess you could mix in a little more Dillingham. That is a rule I would set though. If you're getting to more than a couple percent of Dillingham, max one, him and
Yep.
Bones.
Yeah.
On FanDuel, McDaniels or Aldama. For me, it's Aldama by quite a bit, but McDaniels is fine too. What about Randall? Is he being overlooked now? I kind of thought he would be, but I'm not really getting as much as. Oh, never mind. I'm up to 64% Randall. So maybe he is. I'm going to be way over the field. His usage without Anthony Edwards is really strong.
Yep.
Um, can you talk about Aldama a little bit more? Doug doesn't really understand Aldama as a player. Hey, man, I agree with you a little bit there. I don't really get it either. I like him today, but Smitty, what do you think?
Yeah. Kind of feel the same. Not a player I really love, but he's been the starting center, going to play decent minutes, and now you take Jaw out, maybe a little bit more usage. Kind of a player I'm fine getting around the field on.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna get my. Where am I at on Santi? I actually kind of want to bump him down a little bit now. On FanDuel, he's 6,500. On DraftKings, he's 6,400. It's a good price. I used to only look at Aldama as a guy I was interested in mostly when Jaren Jackson Jr. was not in, but they've been playing pretty well next to each other. I mean, Aldama had a couple of really good games and a couple of really bad ones, so maybe he's slightly overowned by the field. Naquan Tomlin worth a shot? I think so. I think Smitty thought so too.
Yeah.
A few years ago, JJJ was a must on FanDuel. Yeah, if it was in Memphis, then he was like an extra 4.5, 5.5 fantasy points, which is not like it's ridiculous. Smitty, favorite overall plays on FanDuel, favorite stud and value.
Uh, Vince Williams, take the cheap route. And then probably Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, for me, those are my two like very, very clearly top plays on the slate. But I could be talked into or like I could understand if someone wanted to get away from Donovan a little bit and try to get to a little more of the other Cleveland guys.
Yeah. Randall's a close second for me on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up with a ton of Randall too. Love him as a pay up now. Um, maybe what's like the value that you're maybe getting over the field a little bit?
On FanDuel.
What was the question about FanDuel? Yeah, on FanDuel.
Let's see. I don't know. I haven't done another run yet. I would say, I don't know. That's tough. Kind of like Lonzo a little bit.
Lonzo, I need to bump him back up. I'm not getting much right now. Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard answer. Like I'm slightly over on Wells. I'm slightly over on Rudy Gobert. I'm probably actually going to end up way over on Dante Vincenzo once I play with this after stream. Top three priorities on DraftKings, Smitty?
DK. Currently, Vince Williams, Bones, and Julius Randle.
Nice. Leaving significant money on the table when you would typically plug in Giddy will win this slate. I have Giddy actually have Giddy projected very poorly today, but like, so we're leaving some salary, right? Let's say we have Josh Giddy. Who are we going down to that's capable of putting up 40 plus instead of Josh Giddy, or more likely to put up 40 plus than Josh Giddy? Like Dante, I guess. Darius Garland, I guess. Bones Highland, I'd like to think he has that potential, but that's it. I don't think anyone else here can put up 40 today anyway. I'm not really into it. If you have the salary to get to Giddy, I would rather just get to Giddy. Like, you can just not play Giddy and play a cheaper point guard too, but I would not leave salary to plug anyone else in if you can get to Giddy there.
Yeah, that's kind of what my lineups are doing now. I don't have very much Giddy on DraftKings. More so filled with Julius Randle.
Okay, that's interesting then. Good to know. I am still getting to a ton of Giddy and Randall over on FanDuel. I don't have clean DraftKings lineups to compare to, but let's build a couple of dummies real quick. We have a little bit of time. Slate starts a little bit later. Sorry for running so late, Smitty. I was like bragging about I got through a 2-gamer in 40 minutes and then.
You're good, but if you hear a kid, my bad.
Hey man, we're good, man. We know what it is around here. So we're plugging. I'm assuming Vince Williams. Is he still the first player in the dummy over on DraftKings?
Yeah, Vince Williams, Bones,
Oh yes, Bones.
and then it would
4,800.
be Randle for me. But
No, we like Randall at 9K. Did we want to try to squeeze Donovan and see if we can make it work?
yeah, that's my fourth highest expose, Donovan.
So I mentioned maybe we can try to jam in Donovan, Julius, and Josh Giddy. We still have 4,100 for three positions. It's not great. So let's try it without Josh Giddy first. Who would be your next guy in? Colin Coward or Cedric Coward?
Yeah, either him or Aldama probably.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put both of them in here. We have Julius Randle, Bones Highland versus the Aldama Coward stack. Now we need two value plays to fill out utility. Like, we left center for last.
Yeah, I like Gobert, but we could also go Jared Allen or
We'd have to take someone out because we could do Jared Allen since he's $100 less than Gobert, and we can actually play.
Brandon Clark.
Yeah, we can play Brandon Clark at the flat men. This is not a bad. It's not a bad first dummy build. Don't be afraid to play Brandon Clark. Like, he might not do well, but I'm actually kind of just hoping he gets rolled out so we don't have to deal with it. But is there another guard maybe we can swap out Coward for? Someone on the Bulls, maybe? Someone was asking if we can full fade the Bulls. I don't think we can full fade, but we can definitely just play less of them compared to every other team. KCP? KCP, and then we can get to Werder, Lonzo, Trey Jones in the flex. Those would all work out. Or we could swap Jared Allen out. We'll get Gobert in there in this one. 5K flat. Yeah, same thing. What about over on FanDuel? It's a little bit different over here, but I'm going to plug in my top guys, Vince Williams, Julius. I mean, it's the same top three plays on both sites, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Put Jalen Wells in there. I know Jalen Wells is going to be in there. Are you running Vince Williams more at point guard or shooting guard on FanDuel?
Let's see. It was shooting guard. I hadn't rebuilt yet.
Yeah, I have more of a need for a shooting guard than a point guard. Because the other point guards I'm getting after Vince Williams, Darius Garland. I'm playing Donovan at the point guard a bunch, Bones Highland, Giddy, Kobe White, Dante, and then a little bit of Lonzo. But at shooting guard, there's not as many guys that are as interesting. Like, Jalen Wells has small forward eligibility. Cedric Coward has small forward eligibility. So,
Yep.
Let's do Vince Williams. We'll get Donovan in there for sure. I guess we'll put him at point guard and see how that looks. What other point guard do you want to? Or I guess
Bones, maybe.
Yeah, we'll get Bones. I'll put Jalen Wells at the small forward spot. Put Donovan at shooting guard since I just mentioned shooting guard isn't great. Wells at small forward. I think we still probably should put Santi in our dummy here, right?
Yeah.
And then Julius at the other power forward spot. We can get to your boy Rudy Gobert at center. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe we'll have 200 left, so you can swap between him or Vooch. We need a point guard and a small forward, and we have 7,100 left. Like, it's really hard to leave salary. Even if we put Josh Gideon at point guard, we have 4,800 left to get to a Kevin Werder. This probably isn't the greatest, so maybe change this a little bit. But how would you fill this lineup out?
Yeah. Small forward, you could go Coward, probably.
Oh, 5,600. Yeah, Coward is probably the move here. But then that leaves us 8,600 at
Such
point.
a weird price. Yeah.
We can either come down. So we have 5 Memphis players. We have 4 Memphis players. Who would you take after this? Right.
Yeah, I'd probably take out Aldama.
There's a couple other interesting power forwards. I mean, Jared Allen gives us an extra 400. I mean, that just gives us more money to get to no one. I wanted to see how we could get Josh Gideon here too.
Let me look at power forward. There's also Nas is more expensive. You could play like Dean Wade.
Try Dean Wade. Yeah, I
like he's a little bit worse now, but he's still good.
Yeah, if we're not getting to Jarrett. So Dean Wade at 4K. That leaves us 1,700 now after plugging Josh Gideon. So where would the upgrade here be? Coward or Wells, I guess?
Yeah.
Let's see who that would get us to. What, 7,300 salary or 7,100? It's a little awkward because we end up leaving salary either way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so maybe these 4K guys aren't as powerful as they were before that Ann Edwards news.
Yep.
Dude, they gave us 100 pieces of news for tomorrow. I know every team plays tomorrow, but can they really not wait until after the slate starts? Any final words, Smitty? I know I kept you way longer than we were supposed to, but
no.
Get into it.
Good luck, and watch for the Cavs starting lineup too, because if Tyson's starting, he's probably going to be under-owned.
Yeah, I like that. I'm probably going to be over on Tyson either way, but I think I am hoping that he starts. And I like this comment. Don't fade the Bulls. Cleveland defense is trash. Hey, I'm with you, Spin Block. I like you, man. Come back to the show tomorrow. Appreciate everybody watching. We'll be in the Discord, and good